Good morning and welcome to this meeting of the Standards Committee. I am your chair, Councillor KG Moses. The role of this committee is to promote high standards of conduct from the council's elected representatives. It does this by considering relevant guidance, new guidance and legislation that is referred to it by the monitoring officer, and advising on any reviews of procedure and policies relating to them. It also deals with any complaints received about breaches to the Code of Conduct and considers the annual governor's report. The membership is made up of city councillors and non-voting parish co-opted representative. So we have parish council representatives this morning, Alan Atkinson and Barnaby Briggs. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you, KG. Thank you for welcoming me here. My name is Barney Riggs. I'm the Parish Council representative and a councillor and chair of the Fordwich Town Council. Thank
you. Good morning. I'm Alan Atkinson. I think most of you know who I am. I'm chairman of Bridge Parish Council and chairman of the area committee for Calc.
Thank you. Now some housekeeping. There is no fire alarm planned for this morning. Should the alarm sound, please leave via the nearest available emergency exit. Two of the closest exits are through the glass door behind you to the left and through the double doors onto the riverside behind you. Please muster at Café de Miss. Members of the public are welcome to make their own recordings of the meeting using whatever non-disruptive methods they think are suitable. This meeting is being minuted, recorded and audio live streamed via the council's website. Lauren, do we have any apologies?
We do, Chair. We have apologies from Councillor Wheeler, Councillor Robert Jones and Councillor Ian Stockley.
Do we have any substitutes?
We have Councillor Carnac here for Councillor Jones.
I'd like to invite Lauren to read out any declarations received in advance.
We've received no declarations, Chair.
Are there any further declarations? So we are going to agree the minutes of the meeting held on the 21st of November 2022. We can do that by general accent.
Just as a point, I think I was, and Councillor Carnac was at that meeting. Do we not need to have people that were at the meeting to agree the minutes, or? I mean, I've not got a problem with them, but I just thought from a...
Yes, we can agree it by general assent. So I'm going to now invite Matthew Archer, the head of corporate governance. Sorry.
It says on the agenda to agree a true record. Again, I have a problem with the wording of that because I can't agree a true record if I wasn't present.
Yes, that's fair comment. As we have people here who were at the meeting last time, that's quite helpful because I think we can receive them as a true record on the basis of those who were here. If nobody had been present, then I think we would have just asked for you to receive the minutes and then they would have gone into the record. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will invite Matthew Archer, the head of corporate governance, to give us the annual governance report.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. So this is an annual report that I prepare, which has a look at the the sort of training and briefing arrangements that we provide for our councillors. And also it's an opportunity just to have a look at the protocols that are in place. In terms of the briefings that we provide and the council development that we provide, I think it's divided into two chunks really. The councillor briefings are an opportunity for officers and councillors to discuss issues which are sort of coming through the pipeline, but are not necessarily ready yet for a public debate. So it's an opportunity for us as officers to inform you and for you to ask questions in a safe space about what's happening. And it's also an opportunity for us to cover all councillors at the same time, which sometimes if we're using briefings within a committee to do that, then we obviously don't get the same coverage. In terms of the topics that we cover, they vary quite widely. It's normally the big ticket issues which are coming through, but it's also an opportunity to talk about legislative changes or policies and procedures which are in the process of being shaped, which are not quite ready yet for publication. And it also means that you as councillors then have information in advance of publication if you're asked by members of the public about these issues. It allows you to be better informed. We try and provide briefings approximately once a month, although as you'll have noticed, there have been a number of additional briefings which are added. Sometimes we have requests from third parties, such as the police or Southern Water, who want to come along and share information with you. And we try and facilitate as many of those as we can, obviously being mindful of your own workloads as well. Knowing that you have obviously working lives and private lives, professional commitments, as well as your civic life to try and fit in. In terms of the training that we've provided this year, it's been an induction year, which is always busier in terms of the programme that we put together. This year, I think we had approximately half of the councillors were brand new to the process. We had one or two returners who had been away from the council for a number of years. So the programme was quite comprehensive and really starts from the ground up in terms of making sure that you've got training on the equipment that you're using, the IT, that you understand the fundamentals around what the council does and your role as councillors in terms of complying with important things like the code of conduct. Obviously, making sure that we do things in a way which is legal and doesn't get you or the council into trouble is the highest priority. And after that, it's very much an informing role then around the services that we provide, so that you have a better understanding of those. And then as we move into the second half of the year, we start looking at some of the soft skills that we are providing, such as chairmanship training, and if there are other things that you think we could usefully add to the programme, then I would welcome your input into that. In terms of the training budget that we have for external courses, it is very limited. So most of what we do is provided in-house. The very limited training budget that we have has been used to fund, on a first-come, first-served basis, either travel expenses or actual courses, which you can see there have been mainly sponsored by the national bodies such as the LGA or the LGIU, or in relation to the UK 100 Leadership Academy, that's focused very much on climate change. So we try and keep that as broad brush as possible, and as inclusive as possible across the parties. It's quite difficult to know how best to manage that particular budget because it is so small. So doing it on a pro rata basis per councillor cluster is quite difficult according to political balance, because really it's only covering one or two courses at best. In terms of the procedures and protocols that we have in place, we've highlighted the main ones there from the Constitution. I think we've managed to cover most of them in the briefings and training so far. In relation to code of conduct, both Jan Geiler and myself have delivered training to councillors and also to parish councils as well. Similarly with planning, we've delivered courses to both the planners, to the planning committee members, a more broad, wide-ranging course to all councillors, and we have done something specifically for parish councils as well. Again, we can look at maybe refreshing some of that and doing, because I'm very conscious that we throw a lot at you as councillors in the first few months to bring you up to speed, but then obviously you have the benefit of some experience after that, and maybe you could ask different questions or bring your own experiences to light if we were to rerun them. So again, feedback on that would be welcome. And then finally, a summary there of the complaints against councillors that we've had in the last year. You can see that they've this year, unusually actually, they've all been against Canterbury City councillors, none against the parish councillors, which is good news in the parishes. I would take it to be. And yes, if you have any questions about how those are handled, Jan Geiler's here today and deals with most of those in her role as monitoring officer. But it's good news that we've not had too many complaints against the parishes in recent years. When you look at the trend sort of back in 17-18, you can see it was the other way around compared to now. So I think that's it by way of introduction. Happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Does anyone want to make any remarks or ask any questions?
Some of the training I attended for the planning committee was described as being mandatory for planning committee members. So whose responsibility is it to check that committee members have all attended? Is that done by officers or is that done by the chair of the committee?
Yes, that's done by the officers. So we keep a note of every attendee on every course. So we have Lauren, I think we have a spreadsheet of that, don't we?
Yes, we keep a record centrally of who's attended, and we would contact people if it was mandatory and they hadn't attended.
Yeah. So there are a number of mandatory attendances. We try and do the same on the finances with audit, licensing, planning, and we ensure that before people attend for council as well, that everybody's had the code of conduct training.
Just on that point, in terms of the committee, presumably if we were to have a look at what training was offered and do a review of those things, would that come to this committee as the committee that would decide over that, or would that be the individual remit of, say, planning or licensing to look at their own training?
I think it could cover either, to be honest. If the planning committee feel that they need more information in relation to a particular part of what they are being asked to make decisions on, I mean, local plan is a good example. When that's coming through, obviously they need to make sure that they are fully conversant with what they're doing. But equally, this is an opportunity here to sort of take a broader look at what we're providing and making sure it's fit for purpose.
Madam Chair, just regarding training topics, it might be helpful were there to be included some element towards the parish charter. So if the members knew what was, expected, requested of them, then perhaps that would filter down through their organisation. And also, although it's not perhaps current this year, there has been previous years been evident misunderstanding of concurrent function funding, and that would be helpful if that was included too.
Yes, both good points. So we'll take those away. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback. We would look into those. Can we agree the report by general assent? Thank you. I will now ask Jan Geiler, Head of Legal and Monitoring Officer, to give us a verbal update on the debate not hate.
Thank you. Yes, just a quick update. At a full council meeting on the 5th of January 2023, it was agreed that the council would sign up to the LGA's Debate Not Hate campaign, and in particular the LGA's public statement calling for a government-convened working group to tackle the issue of abuse and intimidation of local councillors. It was also agreed at that meeting that there would be a meeting between Head of Paid Service and myself and the political group leaders to look at the LGA's proposed ways of trying to tackle this. That meeting did take place in February 2023 with the idea of bringing in a system in the new council year. I'm afraid it did stall with me for a little while, but we have restarted that now, and we've had another meeting with the political group leaders on the 10th of November. We worked through the LGA's proposals to see what we wanted to adopt, and the majority of those were considered to be very helpful. In summary, we're looking to liaise with the police regarding the need to take a preventative approach. We're looking at the LGA's rules of engagement to promote a healthy debate, including apparently some infographics that could be used on social media, and how to handle online abuse. We're also looking to implement a mechanism for reporting threats and other concerns regarding the safety of councillors and their families, and looking to set up a regular review of safety of staff and councillors. So I'll be reporting back to the political group leaders in early January 2024, and we'll bring forward more information when we've got a clearer pathway. It's just to bring you up to speed on that and reassure you it's not forgotten.
Thank you, Jan. Any questions? Can we agree that we have received the update by general assent? Thank you. Do we have any urgent business to be dealt with? And that's it. And any other urgent business which falls under the exempt provisions of the Local Government Act 1972 or the Freedom of Information Act 2000, or both? None, thank you. The meeting is closed at 10:22. Thank you.